Hello and welcome to another episode of WP Maestro. In this episode, we will continue building our custom WordPress theme. So, let's continue. If you've stuck with me this far, this is where it starts to become difficult. Just kidding, guys, but this will be the most difficult part of this build. In this section, we will continue with the services, and in particular, this will be the toughest section because we will be using some JavaScript, which we haven't touched yet, which is very cool and something different. So we will have an image, then we'll have a text section, and when you hover over this image, the text section will expand and you'll be left with an opaque background with some titles, some text, and then a read more button, which will take you to another part of the site. So without further ado, let's begin. And once again, guys, all the images that you will need are in the Dropbox folder. If you haven't found them from the previous lessons, they shall be in the description below. Okay, so in the last episode we created the services section, so let's create the new section below. So create another section with the white background, and comment the closure of this section, so section 1. This may be a little bit tedious, but there's something you have to do, guys, because otherwise when you get into more complex builds, you will sometimes miss out the closing tag and it is a complete nightmare. So with these little closing div comments, it makes your life so much easier. And if you use it's the text editor called Sublime 2, you can download a plugin, I think it's called Emmet, and that automatically closes your divs off and it writes an ending comment block. So that's very useful when developing. But anyway, forget that for now. Let's just continue with this. So in our design, we have sections which are 33% again. They're a third in width, so let's put those in. And once again, let's wrap them in a big block. What can we call these? Other services, just in case we need to adjust the margins around them. What's going on? Other services. Then inside here, this time we will use the 33% width 33. And we will create an inner container box. So div class, what do we call these? Service box. Let's call these or other service box. And inside here we're going to have an image, um, 350 maybe by 200. Class, we'll add a full width class this time instead of the max width, and we'll add an alt, other services. Let's check our design. Okay, we have the image, and then we will have the background and the title and the text. Okay, so the background, so let's call this background other service background. h4 title in here, business consulting. Just put something small in here. This is a example. This is an example of a service that this company offers. If you would like to learn, if you would like to hire us or find out more, and then put a new ahref, so a link with a hash symbol so it doesn't go anywhere at the moment. Add a title, read more, and then finally we want the text to read more. Save that. Once it's uploaded, let's check out our site. Okay, so that's exactly as we'd expect so far. So now let's add the widths and everything else we need. So width 33, so width 33.33%, float that to the left. What else do we need? Box sizing, put a box. And if you don't know what any of this means, guys, like the box sizing, just go to Google and type in, CSS box sizing, and it'll explain it better than I ever could. Alright, okay, and put the padding of 20 pixels for now. We can play around with this. Okay, so that's in. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, great. Put the full width class in for the image. Full width 100%, height auto. So this will be a responsive image, and it'll take up 100% of the parent container, which is 53% of the full screen width, I should say. Okay, so let's look if everything is set up. Other services background. Okay, so now we're going to play with relative and absolute positioning. This can get a little bit confusing, so rather than me explain, go to find another site such as what's a good site to learn this? Relative position. Maybe w3schools.com, and you can learn all about it there. But if you just follow along, you'll sort of pick it up. So let's have a look. We want to set a relative position on the other service box. So let's do that. Other service box. What am I doing? Position relative. And now, because that is relative, we can set this to absolute. So what that means, this is will go exactly where we put it to. So if we say left 0, it'll go here. Right 0, it'll go here. And top 0 and bottom 0. So basically, this content here will go onto the back of this. You'll see what I mean now. Okay, so that's other service box. So if we put, let's space that out. Other service background, other service background. So we put this position absolute, left 0, right 0, top 0, bottom. Put a background as red for now. Red, and put the opacity so we can see underneath. Opacity. Save that. And we should. Right. So as you can see, this red background is now on top of the image. But you can see it slightly overlaps, and I think this is to do with the line height on the service box. So if we put this line height 0, that sorts that out, but then that messes our text up. But let me just check a minute. The services background. If we set it to that, nope. Okay, let's take the line height out for now, and we'll fix as we go along, just so we can get something working here, so you can see what's going on. Okay. Okay, so let's add padding to this, to the other services background. Once again, let's add the border boxes in. And what is the color of this purple? Let's get that. So let's use this purple, or the bluey purple. Add it to this background. Opacity. And the colors, I think the color of all these are white. Does that make a difference? Okay. Okay. So let's target all the content inside here then. Other services background P. Other services background H4. And say color white, and then other service background A. Let's get the color for the yellow, which is our buttons. If you remember that, just put it in, but I have a memory like a sieve, so I'll have to copy it again. Yeah, where are you going? Color. Okay, hopefully that should look better. Brilliant. Now let's take the size of this writing down slightly. Font size 15 pixels maybe. Line height 25 pixels. No. 20. Okay, great. And take the margin top a little bit smaller, 5 pixels. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So copy this. Oh, obviously you can't copy this, but copy me. And other service background P, and copy those values in. Okay. Okay, and then add this line height of 0 to other service box. So other service box, line height 0. and then this h4, copy and paste. So copy, paste, margin top 10 pixels. What have I done here? Why is okay. Something's going on with the space in here. What's going on? Okay. Margin bottom 20 pixels, and change this line height slightly because it looks a bit too close. Let's see what that gives us. Okay, that's better spaced out. So now we just have to play around with these values. Okay, so other service background, top, change this value to 75%. And for now, change this margin top on the H4 to 5 pixels, which is margin top. And then when we add the jQuery, we'll change that up to make it a little neater. Okay, so we should have that. But as you can see, there's something funky going on here. This text is overlapping and it doesn't look too good. So one way we get around that then is to add an overflow to this other service box and hide all of the content outside of here. So overflow, and if we type hidden, all of a sudden that content has gone away, so you can't see it. So other service box, overflow, hidden. So now guys and gals, when we add our jQuery or JavaScript, we will add a class so it takes the top from 75 to 0. So it will look something like that, just a little nicer. So let's copy our code across another twice. So width 33. Another once, another twice, and don't forget to put that div class clear in. Very nice. So all of a sudden we've got the free boxes here. Doesn't quite look as neat as this yet, but what I think I'll do guys is, as I'm developing, I'll make this rough so you can get the gist of it in, and then we'll make a final episode and we'll really sharpen all the details up so you get a high-end theme like this. So there's something else I wanted to do. What am I missing? Oh yes, the images. Okay, so we're using stock images here. Let's placeholder images. Let's add the stock images. Once again, I've provided a link below so you can download these stock images. I found them on pixabay.com, which is a great website for free stock images. So go to my website, there's a link below. Sign up for the newsletter. If you've already done that guys, you already have access to the Dropbox, and if you've used the Dropbox before, the images should be in there. So just go to media, add new, and where are they by? I believe I have called them service image 1, 2 and 3. So copy these images or select them and drag them to the media uploader, drop them in, close this down, wait for them to all upload correctly like before. Once they're in, click the edit button, copy the file URL, press Command A and then Command C or Control A and Control C on a PC, and then go to these placeholder images 350 by 200, replace all of this with the image you just copied or the copied URL. Do it for the second image, but change the 1 to a 2 and then the 1 to a 3. Control S. Let's go to business, view site. Scroll down. Okay, there you have it. The image was larger than our placeholder images, so it's affected our spacing. So let's have a look. What does it look like? 75. So let's change that number to 80 and it'll work just as fine. So go back to your style sheet and other service background, change from top 75 to top 80 and save. Okay, I think that looks pretty good now, guys, and give you a clue what it will look like once again. There you go. And we can add more padding to make this look better when we finally fine tune the website. Okay, so let's reload that. Okay, so in the next episode, guys, we'll add this dividing line and we'll start adding in the testimonials. So if you enjoyed this episode, please give me a like and subscribe. It helps me produce more quality content like this for free. And also, if you do subscribe, you'll get the next episode as it comes available. So thanks once again, guys. Let me know your thoughts or if you get stuck or anything in the comments below. Thanks very much.